you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
This is Ness Zolan, General Manager of the Eugene Symphony, in an interview recorded at public radio station KLCC in downtown Eugene. I had the pleasure to talk with Elizabeth Racheva, who will be singing favorites from the Great American Songbook alongside the Eugene Symphony. We'll hear songs by Jerome Kern, Stephen Sondheim, George Gershwin, and Irving Berlin for our concert on Thursday, December 3rd at the Holt Center. Elizabeth, you're an accomplished soprano, arts administrator, mother of two beautiful girls, and husband to a well-known gentleman here in Eugene. What's it like to be sharing the stage with Eugene Symphony music director Danail Rachev?
Well, I have to admit, I do love it. I feel really lucky that as a couple, we are able to collaborate together on stage as well as off. And not every couple finds fulfillment when they work together creatively and artistically, and I feel grateful that we do. I really love my husband's work on the podium, but truly, speaking as a musician and objectively, I think his point of view and perspective is rich and powerful and always offers me something interesting to consider as a performer and as a listener. So I love the chance to share the stage with him and collaborate with him, and it always teaches me new things.
Let's talk a little bit about the program that we'll be hearing on December 3rd. You'll be performing with the Eugene Symphony, singing some great Broadway favorites from the musicals Showboat, Sweeney Todd, Girl Crazy, and Annie Get Your Gun. What's your connection and history with the Broadway world? Were you taken to go see shows as a kid?
Actually, yes, occasionally, but more than my parents taking me to go see shows, I became involved through my own interest in theater. So I really came to music as much through the theater world as I did through a kind of a classical music and choral introduction. And I do love these shows, these composers, and over time, actually, when I began to program my own recitals, I often look to music of this era, the Tin Pan Alley era. Of course, Sweeney Todd doesn't necessarily fall into that realm, but the other does, definitely. Gershwin in particular is one of my favorite composers, and I really can't get enough of that music.
Yes, and we'll hear I Got Rhythm. There's such beauty and power and depth and history with a lot of what Gershwin wrote, and it's very exciting, at least for me, to hear you sing I Got Rhythm with the Eugene Symphony, along with a couple of other pieces, solo and also duet. You're going to be partnering with bass baritone Joseph Barron. Have you collaborated with him in the past?
No, I have not. And actually, as you mentioned in introducing me, I have a parallel life as an arts administrator. Previously, I was Vice President of External Affairs and Patron Engagement at the Curtis Institute of Music, a conservatory here in Philadelphia. And Joseph was a young singer that I saw come up through Curtis as a member of the Curtis Opera Theater. And I watched him win the Metropolitan Opera National Auditions, which is a huge competition. He's currently singing at the Met. He just was a riot. And so when we started thinking about what some of this repertoire might be, and Danail was asking, of course, I know he collaborates closely with you to identify great artists, but I threw Joe's name in the ring and said, there's this guy, actually, I think you guys should listen to. He's both wonderful and hilarious and could bring so much to this. So I'm really looking forward to the chance to collaborate with Joe on stage for the first time, having watched and heard him many times in the past.
Wonderful, and we're so excited to see that collaboration. It's a pretty unique experience for audiences to see that sort of collaboration for the very first time. For those of us who are lucky enough to see you perform on December 3rd, what are you most excited about in the program?
Well, Can't Help Lovin' That Man of Mine is a song that I've loved since I was a girl, and to actually be able to do this with the luxurious accompaniment of the Eugene Symphony and really collaboration of the Eugene Symphony is just so exciting for me. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous score, and so much of this Tin Pan Alley music we only get to hear these days with piano and voice. So to have this rich texture and all the possibilities that emerge once you're lucky enough to do it with an orchestra is really incredible. And then just the chance to do something funny. I have to admit, I really enjoy playing comedy, so the Annie Get Your Gun gives Joe and I a chance to really work out some good shtick together, and we've actually already been in dialogue. We're going to rehearse here in Philadelphia next week before we come out to Eugene. But we're looking at a few different points of inspiration, from the classic version in the movie musical to the interpretation of Bernadette Peters and Tom Wopat to whatever might be our own little tricks we bring to the stage. But it's really fun when you have a piece like this where you have an opportunity to be really creative. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wonderful. Obviously, there's so much to play with in a piece like this, and I can't wait to see and hear the shtick that you do come up with. It's so exciting. Thank you very much for speaking with me, and we look forward to having you back in Eugene.
Can't wait. Thank you, Ness.
That was soprano Elizabeth Racheva talking about her upcoming solo appearance with the Eugene Symphony on Thursday, December 3rd at the Holt Center. More information can be found at eugenesymphony.org. This interview was recorded at public radio station KLCC in downtown Eugene. I'm Ness Zolan, General Manager of the Eugene Symphony, and thanks for listening.
Tell me I'm crazy.